In my mind, I'm always the best. I don't care what the people are thinking, what they say. In my mind, I'm always the best.
Cristiano Ronaldo is the most professional player I ever played with. He was the one, if we are training at 10, he will be here at 8. He was the last to leave the training ground. He's a machine.
The discipline of Cristiano is unbelievable. I never see this. Every day. You know, some days you can like, oh, I'm okay, yeah. He doesn't miss one day. He's disciplined. No, it's like he's a professional. We're all professional. But the discipline to do it every single day, non-stop, this is something else. It never satisfies me what you've done.
I don't know a stronger, more determined, obsessed player that I'd share the changing room with, because he was just phenomenal. I was very fortunate to sit there and watch him go from a boy to a man, even from just training, affecting training sessions, like being the match winner in training, like absolutely obsessed with winning a game in training and being the one that scores the last goal. He came as a kid, left as the best player in the world.
For most of his career, football didn't just include Cristiano Ronaldo. It adjusted to him. Teams built entire systems around his strengths. Managers reshaped tactics to protect him. Clubs accepted a simple deal. Give him freedom, and he will deliver goals. And for years, that deal worked perfectly. As long as the goals kept coming, nothing else really mattered. Not the pressing, not the tracking back, not the frustration when things went wrong, not the demands when things went right. Goals made everything forgivable. Cristiano Ronaldo built a career on that truth. But football doesn't stand still. Over time, the sport began to change in ways that were subtle at first, then unavoidable. Pressing became relentless. Midfields became faster and younger. Transitions became more violent. Matches stopped breathing. Modern football no longer waited for moments. It demanded constant movement. Cristiano Ronaldo didn't lose his talent. He lost alignment with the world around him. When he returned to Manchester United in 2021, it felt like a story football wanted to tell.
Madeira, Manchester, Madrid, Turin, and Manchester again. Wreathed in red, restored to this great gallery of the game, a walking work of art. Vintage, beyond valuation, beyond forgery or imitation. 18 years since that trembling teenager of touch and tease first tiptoed onto this storied stage. Now in his immaculate maturity, CR7 reunited.
A legend coming home, a club desperate for reassurance, a fan base clinging to memory. For supporters, it felt emotional. For the club, it felt safe. For Ronaldo, it felt like unfinished business. The goals arrived immediately. Late goals, rescue goals, Champions League goals that dragged United forward when nothing else worked. On paper, it looked successful, but football is never played on paper. Because Manchester United at that moment were not a finished club. They were unstable, fragmented, still searching for an identity they had lost years earlier. Real Madrid had been built to carry Ronaldo. The team ran for him, covered space for him, absorbed pressure for him, delivered the ball exactly when it mattered. Manchester United needed something else. They needed cohesion. They needed intensity across the pitch. They needed a collective shape that worked even when moments didn't arrive. And when a team without structure bends around a superstar, everything becomes heavier. United began to revolve around Ronaldo because the pressure was impossible to ignore. If you bench him, you create a storm. If you build without him, you invite chaos. If you build for him, you sacrifice something else. So the team adjusted, but the cost showed quickly. This era of football demands work without the ball. Pressing isn't optional. Movement isn't symbolic. Every player is expected to contribute constantly. And at this stage of his career, Ronaldo could not provide that consistently. Not because he didn't care, not because he stopped working, because time does not negotiate. As the season progressed, the tension became visible. Substitutions turned into headlines. Bench appearances became symbols. Every camera shot of Ronaldo became a story bigger than the match itself. For the first time in his career, he wasn't untouchable. And once that changes, everything becomes personal. Training ground stories began to leak. Silence replaced certainty. The relationship stopped being purely football. Then came the interview.
I don't know what's going on, but since the Sir Alex Ferguson left, I saw not evolution in the club. The progress was zero. For example, we have an interesting point that how the club as Manchester United, after Ole, they bring sport directive Ralph Rangnick, which is something that nobody understands. This guy is not even a coach. A bigger club like Manchester United bring sport directive. Surprised not only me, but all the world. You know, nothing changed. Surprisingly, not only the pool, the jacuzzi, even the gym. Even some points, the technology, the kitchen, the chefs, which is I appreciate, lovely persons. They stop in a time which is it surprised me a lot. I thought I will see different things, different, as I mentioned before, technology, infrastructure, but unfortunately we see many things that I'm used to see when I was 20, 21, 23, so surprised me a lot.
It wasn't just criticism of Manchester United. It wasn't just frustration with management. It was rejection of what football was asking from him now. That moment wasn't rebellion. It was grief. Grief for a game that once made room for icons. Grief for an era where goals outweighed everything else. Grief for a reality where individual dominance could still override systems. When Ronaldo left United again, it didn't feel dramatic. It felt inevitable. The move to Saudi Arabia changed the conversation overnight. Some called it decline. Some called it escape. Some called it retirement. But the truth is simpler. Elite European football no longer had a clean place for him. Not because he stopped scoring, because football decided intensity mattered more than inevitability. The same shift appeared with Portugal. By the time the 2022 World Cup arrived, the national team looked different. Faster, younger, more fluid. Ronaldo was still the face, still the symbol, still the name. But he was no longer the engine. When he was benched, it wasn't disrespect. It was reality. Football had moved on. This isn't a story about failure. It's a story about evolution. Great players don't all decline the same way. Some adapt, some accept new roles, some fade quietly, some fight the change. Ronaldo fought. He demanded standards, demanded relevance, demanded centrality. And for most of his career, that approach worked. But modern football doesn't stay loyal to legends. It stays loyal to advantages. And once the advantage shifts, the game moves forward. Cristiano Ronaldo didn't lose football. Football changed the rules. For 20 years, football bent around him. At the end, he was asked to bend with it. And that was the one adjustment he could never fully make. This isn't a sad ending. It's an honest one. A collision between legacy and reality, between dominance and time, between the past and a future that doesn't slow down for anyone. Cristiano Ronaldo didn't stop being great. The game simply stopped making space for greatness that stands still. If you want more football stories about legends, pressure, and the moments where eras quietly end, subscribe. Because this is what GoalLine Stories is about.